Hi guys, welcome back to PBTV, and we have a brand new PTS video for you today. So we have the ZEV range of PTS rifles. We've got the Core Elite AR to look at, and we also have two of the ZEV pistols to look at. They are the same, but there is a they call one the premium duty, one's the premium combat. So externally they're slightly different, but internally they are the same. So it's just a visual choice that you have to make when you're grabbing your own. But we're going to go through the AR-15 first. So this is a new addition to the PTS range. It is a fully licensed ZEV build. There are some obvious aesthetic choices that have been made, but we'll go tip to butt, explain inside it, and then we are going to take all three of these to our indoor range and just show you them throwing some rounds out. So there is a big gleaming gold barrel on this thing, which is again very, very cool, indicative of like the MWS ZET MTR kind of on them vibes. So this is very sort of looking at a civilian sort of cool build that's not really in that military stitch perfect vibe, so going for a very specific look. On the front here you can see a standard bird cage on the front. Again, PTS are doing this a lot. They kind of just expect people to swap these out and maybe throw a suppressor or something different on there, so they don't throw any sort of expensive muzzle brake, flash hider or anything like that on there. They are expecting people to take it off. Underneath that we do have the 14mm counterclockwise thread, so you can put any adapter you want on there. If you're wanting a dead air, a trace unit, anything like that, there it can just slip straight on. We do then have, as I've said, the gold barrel, almost leaning towards a copper color. It's quite a dark gold color, but it does look very cool on a black loadout. It will sort of might give you away at some points, but you're going to look cool while you do it. The rail itself, we do have M-lock, as you can see on the 3, 6, 9 o'clock positions. The parts in between the bits here are not M-lock, they're just wider weight-saving cutouts. But again, you have plenty of space for accessories. You will need to, if you've got RIS mountable accessories, you will need to get some adapters, but if you've got direct M-lock mounting, it can go straight on there. On the top, as standard, we have the RIS section. So again, any debals, pec boxes, OGLs, anything you want to put on there, torches, mounts, buttons, you have a massive amount of space. This is the 14.5-inch version, so you have plenty of space for accessories. It is a very lightweight aluminium rail, so this thing doesn't come in too heavy. I think unloaded in its current position, it's about 2.5 kilos, so they have saved a chunk of weight with that aluminium handguard. One of the other things that we have that we've not seen before, it does have quite a unique mounting system at the bottom here. So there are little grub screws and stuff holding this together. So when you are taking this apart, be very, very careful. It is a sort of almost proprietary locking system that's on there. But once you've got this thing, it's very unlikely I think anyone's going to change this rail. It is a stunning bit of kit. Coming back to the receiver, we have a full metal receiver. Again, RIS on the top. We do have the T markings across the top here. There aren't any on the rail, but there are some on the receiver if you are wanting to swap optics out. You've got an LVPO or a T1 and a magnifier setup. You can indicate where they sit on the T marks, and then if you are swapping them out, you know exactly the position they were previously in. When it comes to controls, we are sort of right-handed dominant. We do have a selector on the left-hand side. We've got safe, semi, and full auto. It is a MOSFET driven platform, so there is no lockout on the trigger, but it is not programmable. We do just have the originally set positions of safe, semi, and auto. Magazine release on the right hand side releases the PTS 150 round magazine, so again locks in really nice, solid build, and everything that's been put together. PTS are just inherently known for it, that everything is rock solid on these things. The charging handle at the back, so rocking this thing back does open the charge door. It does lock open, and we will find a rotary style hop in there. You'll hear me harp on every single video. Rotary hops just are solid bits of kit. They are just in everything now, rather than the standard gear ones. This isn't going to close on me now because I've opened it. But yeah, so once that's open, you can adjust it. You can adjust quite easily on the fly with gears. They're just easier to get your finger in, even with gloves. Much easier to adjust mid-game, swapping out just makes it just more convenient to you whilst you're on the field. Again, PTS accessories all over this thing, with it being the stock, the pistol grip, all the really cool parts that you'd expect from a PTS build. And again, you've got that 6th position at the back. Internally on this thing, as I've said, it is a MOSFET-driven system, so you do have all the protection you'd expect, but it is a standard setup. There is no programming on this, so there's no pre-cocking or burst or anything like that. It is just as it comes, but we'll show you this thing on the range of how cool it can be. Obviously, we do have quite a long barrel on this thing, with it being the 14.5 inch. We do have a 360mm 6.03 tightbore barrel. So we're expecting great results from this downrange, with it having that sort of 350 plus length barrel and it being a tightbore. You're going to have a really good sort of grouping at the end of that range. It is a Dean's connector in the back. Again, that comes from the MOSFET, and it is a 7.4. You will see PTS and other companies, especially like in the States and Europe and stuff like that, recommending or stating that this is an 11.1 platform. That is because of their power limits. In the UK, because of our power limits and the power of the spring, it's got nothing to do with the build or anything like that. It's the physical force of the spring. If you put an 11.1 in it, the gears will spin faster than that spring can reset your piston, and you can cause something called pre-engagement, where the gears are coming round before the nozzle, before the piston is forward, and the gears don't mesh properly. So it is nothing indicative of poor build quality. It is physically the power of the spring resetting it. So please stick to a 7.4 with this one, especially with it not having any sort of active braking or a little bit more of a potent MOSFET in it, but this thing is going to be really, really, really cool. Looking forward to throw this on the range. So that is the ZEV System Core Elite AR-15. We will put that to one side until we go to the range, and then we'll bring forward the two pistols. So these are the same pistol. We have the Premium Duty and the Premium Combat. The main differences, as you can see, we do have a black lower and a sort of grey-blue lower. I'm kind of leaning towards this one. I think it's a really nice colour. And as you can see, there are some minor differences in the serrations at the front, the back. And instead of it just being a laser cut, this one's slightly more deep cut when it comes to the centre. Apart from that, internally, these things are exactly the same. So, again, working from the front and working our way back, we do have a thread on this, so you can attach any of your wanted adapters or trace units or suppressors or anything on this, and it is a 14mm counterclockwise thread. Again, this is a threaded barrel system, so it is part of the barrel, so you're not going to worry about when you tighten one up, it's going to loosen the other. It is all set and ready to go. One thing I will say, when we got these out of the box, they are a very shiny machined finish on the side, very sleek, very high-tech look. You can see the slight differences on the top. There is a sort of dulled finish there, but on the side there is a CNC machine finished across here. Very unique, very different, not really seen it on anything else, and it almost looks like there's multi-parts here. So we've got the lower, the rail, and a separate piece for the RIS at the front. So again, overall, these are coming about 280, 300 FPS, depending on gas and temperature and everything like that. But they're only they're just over half a kilo each, so not very heavy, can sit on your hip. Draw these things, they are just going to work. Looking forward to, again, throwing some BBs downrange and showing you what they are. Sit on about 22 centimetres in length. Obviously, there's no adjustment, it's pistol. There is a couple of things I'll dive into when we look internally that are slightly different to other sort of Glock style slide off, slide on systems. It's not quite as simple as normal. The serrations on here do make it very easy to sort of load in different positions. They are quite deep, and normally there are some platforms where these are just almost for show. They're not as sort of grippy as normal. You've got gloves on this thing, you're going to stick to it like glue, rack that first round in, you need to change and get that slide forward. It's going to be very easy to do. As you can see on the top here, there's two screws here, so it is an optic ready platform. We have some images online of showing some optics on there, so if you do want a dot on it, it is straight up and ready to go. We do also have a tightbore barrel in here as well, as standard. So we've got a 97mm length barrel, and it is a 6.03. Control-wise, obviously there is no safety, similar to other platforms out there on the market. The safety is this little part of the trigger, so as long as that is pressed, the trigger will roll back. If it doesn't, if you don't press it, it will lock against the back of the system once it's racked, and you will not be able to pull the trigger. So once it's in a holster and protected, it's very difficult for the trigger to be pressed correctly. Slide lock is standard. Magazine release, we drop out the EPM gas PTS magazine. Again, 25 rounds, plenty. If you're just having this as a sidearm, you just need the single magazine. It is going to serve you very, very well. Standard iron sights at the back with the castellations, but we do have a red fibre on the front, and that is on both platforms. There's no difference in colour. Yeah, looking forward to seeing this actually shoot. I wasn't overly keen on this finish on the side, personally. I'd have kind of preferred, especially on the duty, this kind of finish here. If this went all the way over, I think I'd probably be sold. The lower receiver has me, though. I'm really like the sort of ergonomics of it, the slightly more vertical positioning of it. There is a little divot in the where your sort of palm of your hand sits, so where the reverse side of your palm sits, it is very, very comfortable. So looking forward to seeing how this indexes, how it shoots down range, and very easy to set up with probably 2 5s, 2 8s in this. It is a standard pistol style hop system, so again, underneath the barrel, slide the system off, and I will show that it is not as simple as other platforms where you take the slide off and it slides all the way off, goes from about here and then slides off. A lot of people will then put the slide on and try and slide it, and it will lock in place and you can't do it. So what you need to do is put it to where it came off and then slide it back. Going to be awkward on camera, but there you go. Nice and simple, but it is not a complete slide on. You've got to put it halfway back and slide it on. There are various controls and locks at the front in here, and it's just the design that they've done on it. It is very simple and easy to take apart, especially for maintenance, but very much looking forward to getting this on the range. So, that being said, we've talked about this enough. We've got the premium duty, the premium combat, and we have got the PTS ZEV Core Elite to put on the range. So we'll go upstairs, set these things up, and show you blatting some rounds at our target system. So join me in a second. Hi guys, so we've made it up to the range. We've set up the Core Elite with some .2s, set the hop, and we're just going to show you it throwing some rounds and a little sort of bit of info about the trigger. It's just something that is good to know, and a little feature about the mag on the pistol as well. So loading up, we can quite easily chuck some rounds down range and on full auto. But the thing that we wanted to show you is with the pistol, with the trigger, it can pull all the way back and not fire. So you need to get all the way back and do that extra little pull. So the actual trigger itself is right at the back of the trigger pull, and then it's nice and easy, and you can still rip and tear with the best of them. With the pistol, the magazine has a wider port for BBs all the way down here. So when you are speed loading this thing, it's very, very easy to get your double stack. There's no missed BBs or anything like that. Really easy to do. Putting the magazine in, racking, and this thing will just get through all of this. A lot of fun to fire. I can see this being with an optic on it, maybe a tracer unit, anything like that. This could quite easily be a primary if you want to run around and have a little bit of fun and just do some sort of assassin builds. But yeah, very keen on these things. I think people will be very, very impressed with them. The Core Elite, I think this thing could be built up to look absolutely stunning. Dead air on it. Risers, Unity parts, I think they are absolutely beautiful. Let us know down below how you would build them. Would you run the duty as a primary, a secondary? Would you trick it up with suppressors, optics, or run it as it is? And what would you do to the Core Elite? Would you run it with a muzzle brake, suppressor? What optics would you run in it? How would you build yours? Let us know about down below. But if that is everything for today, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in a bit. Bye.